Hi there, Jus4SweetZ here. Today I'm going to show you 3 different taco techniques to use or to do for your leftover tortilla crusted tilapia. It's just a way of not having any waste. This is how much fish we have left over. I made so much. How much fish we have left over after having 2 meals out of it. So today I'm going to show you 3 different tacos that you can do with it. We're going to do a vegetarian taco. Well, not vegetarian necessarily. Actually more of a carb-free taco. We're going to do it inside of a lettuce shell. And then we're going to do one on a tortilla, a corn tortilla, and one on a flour tortilla. So we will start with, let's start with the one in the lettuce. So this would be the carb or low carb taco. So I've already washed my lettuce. I took the center out. I actually had one of these last night inside of a lettuce shell. So you kind of want to just pick the best ones you can. You kind of separate them. That one's kind of ripped, so we don't want that one. I get kind of picky about my lettuce. Okay, there's a good one. So let's make it in that one. It's got a nice cup form. It's not ripped. I'm going to cut this very end off right here. But don't throw that away. Put that in with your lettuce because we can chop that up for the other tacos coming up. Okay, so I've already preheated my tilapia. And I'm going to use, just cut it up to how much you want. Just cut it in chunks. It's still nice and tender and smells really good. The taco I had last night was really yummy. So we're going to stick that inside the shell. And I have some left over from last night that I had chopped up, so we'll use some of that. Because, you know, you want to make it a pretty good size taco. You can make 1 or 2 of these for dinner and be completely full. I had one last night, and I made it pretty big. I put a whole piece of fish in it. But that's what I had for dinner. I only had one, and I was very satisfied, and it was really good left over. It wasn't bad. Okay, so now what I would add to this is I have some matchstick pre-cut carrots. And I'm going to add a few little carrots to it. Now, like I said, make sure your fish is preheated. You don't want to overheat it because then it'll dry out. So I'm just adding those in there for some texture, some extra texture, extra crunch. You can leave any of this stuff out that you want to. I have some fresh cilantro here. This is still the cilantro from all my other videos. It has really gone a long way. I'm just going to put just a few little sprigs of that inside my lettuce wrap taco here. Just for that nice, zesty cilantro flavor. Take the stem out. So we'll put that on top. Isn't it pretty? And then what I want to do is I'm going to add a little bit of tomato to the top of this. And I just have a Roma tomato here. And I'm going to dice it up. Now feel free to leave the tomatoes out if you're not a tomato lover. Or add extra if you love tomato. Add extra cilantro if you love the cilantro. You know, you can do this however you want. These are just some ideas. This is to make a no-waste, you know, meal to save pennies. You got all those people out there doing extreme couponing to save money. Well, there's no reason you can't save money with leftover food and not waste it and create meals out of it. Meals that your family will like. So now we have the fish. We have carrots. We have some diced tomato and some diced cilantro. I'm now going to add some queso fresco cheese. Still the same queso fresco that you've seen in my other videos. I have so much of it. If you broke this down, this would be pennies for every meal. You know, how many meals you can get out of it. And normally you take it out of the package, but I just kind of like to, you know, keep chunking it up. And I just leave it in here and then I cover it with foil in the refrigerator. And then I'm going to add a dollop of sour cream. Feel free to leave the sour cream out if you like. I love sour cream, so I'm going to add a little bit for flavor. Not a ton. This is a fat-free sour cream, and it's got a nice creamy texture. So I really like it a lot. And then last but not least, I like spice in my tacos. So I am going to add a few pieces of jalapeno for some extra spice. There you go. Now, you could add salsa to this, you know, no problem. I just don't have any on hand right now. Like I said, I'm using what I have. So my spice is coming from the sour cream and the jalapenos. Another good idea is take a couple dollops of sour cream, get a little container, chop these jalapenos up into little pieces and mix them up in the sour cream and then dollop the sour cream on top. You could also add cilantro to that. That's another idea. But this is just a quick way to do it. So there is your low-carb fish taco. Another thing you might want to do is, instead of sour cream, if you're not a sour cream person, you can get some fresh ranch. I prefer not bottled ranch. It just tastes so artificial. So this is Linda's Pantry makes a ranch dressing mix, and I make it and put it in little containers for my family. So this is fresh ranch, all with natural ingredients. We use buttermilk in it. So you can pour that on top if you're not a sour cream lover. I'm going to kind of set this to the side. The next one we're going to do is we're going to do one in a corn tortilla. Now, normally, actually I would say normally I was going to heat it up, but I am going to heat it up for a second so the tortillas don't break. You want to have them a little bit soft, because if you don't have them soft, they're hard, and then when you wrap them around, then they tend to break. And I'm doing it the least caloric way. A lot of times I will do these, saute these in a pan with some spray grease, and then I will put some Parmesan cheese on the outside and crust them a little bit. But today we're just going to do it simple. I just heated this up in the microwave, just softened it for about 15 seconds, cut up some of your tortilla crusted fish, and that's quite a lot for a corn tortilla, and that was probably just a quarter piece of fish. You can see how much that makes. Now to this one, I'm going to do this just a bit different, and we're going to add some grated jalapeno jack cheese, which I have a big cube of this. I have used this in a lot of my meals this week. I got this at Costco for like $6.50, and like I said, with every meal, it's pennies on the dollar. So we're going to put our jalapeno jack on there. And this one, we're going to add some cilantro. Again, that same cilantro that I've had. Just chop it up. Chop it up as finely as you like or as big as you like. Cilantro has such a great flavor. You kind of just want to taste it throughout the taco. Sprinkle that on top. And then on this one, I'm going to add a little bit of a leftover red onion. We're going to discard this front piece because it's not that it's bad, but it's just kind of not as fresh. We cut some red onion. This is a leftover piece of onion that I had from another meal. You're going to dice that up real small. Now, of course, if you're making a big meal, you're going to use a whole onion. You're going to use, you know, quite a bit more cilantro, more cheese, but I'm doing individual ones. I mean, let's say you just need to make a lunch for work and you have nothing in your refrigerator and you go, oh, you know what, I have that leftover tortilla crusted fish that I could do something with. Usually, I always have tortillas in my house. My family's infamous for wanting to make a really quick cheese quesadilla for a snack, so I try to keep those on hand. Okay, so here's my leftover tortilla crusted fish corn taco. It has the fish, it has jalapeno jack, diced onion, and cilantro. Now, something that would be really good on this is if you squeeze some fresh lemon or some fresh lime. I prefer the lime. Or, to top it off, again, one of Linda's Pantry, sorry Linda, her famous habanero mango dip is awesome on these. So I don't have a whole lot left. I need to get some more today. But I'm going to put that on top as my topping, just to give it a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of spice. And you don't want a whole lot, but just enough that when you take a bite, you get some flavor out of it. So there is my version of a leftover tortilla crusted tilapia in a corn tortilla. Last but not least, we have a flour tortilla. get fajita size, or you can get the taco size ones too. These just happen to be what I have on hand. And believe it or not, I got these at the dollar store, both the corn and the flour. I was there, didn't have time to go to another store when they had these. And they're not bad at all. So now we're gonna make the version on a flour tortilla. I am now heating this up for about 10 to 15 seconds just to soften it a little bit, so you don't have a hard shell. It's not too hot, but you can see that you can move it without it breaking. Okay, now with this one, I would normally preheat my brown rice, but because I'm just showing this to you, this, as you can see, last night I put a piece of tortilla crusted fish on top of my rice, closed that, and heated it up before I put it inside my taco. So on this one, we're going to add, oh, we better heat this up or it's going to be gross. Okay, so let's heat this up. I'm going to heat that up for about 30 seconds. But while we're waiting, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to chop up. Now this is a bigger tortilla, so you can add more ingredients to it, or you can simply just add more fish to it if you want to make it a little bit healthier. So I'm going to cut up my tilapia here into pieces. We are going to add brown rice to it, so we don't want to have too much. Okay. We're going to grate a little bit more jalapeno jack. Not a whole lot, because we're going to actually use 2 cheeses on this one. Let's go ahead and also cut up some more cilantro. Again, the same pack. I think that pack cost me like 50 cents. And I don't know, I can't even tell you how many things I've done with it. Okay, so we have that all chopped up. Take your stems out if you don't want those. They're a little bit more bitter. Okay. We're actually going to add a little bit of tomato to this. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit for some added texture. And now we have our heated up brown rice. This is our leftover brown rice. I get these little packets at Costco as well. And this is leftover from the tilapia meal the other night. I had made a cilantro rice and I did not use all my rice. So, of course, I'm not going to waste it. There's no reason to waste it. Rice can be reheated. And this brown rice is awesome. Okay, so we have about 3 teaspoons of the brown rice on the shell. We're going to now add the tilapia, which has also been preheated. And it doesn't hurt to get these little tortilla crusts in there either. They're already seasoned. Okay, then we're going to add some cilantro. We're going to add some tomato. Don't waste any of that cilantro, it's too good. We're then going to add some shredded jalapeno jack cheese. We're going to take some of that, remember the lettuce I told you to put aside? We're going to roll some of that up and just, you know, slice it really thin. As much lettuce as you'd like. We're going to layer that on top of this taco. Look how big that taco is. That's a man-sized taco, or that is a really good dinner-sized portion taco. Last but not least, I'm going to take a little bit more of my queso fresco. We're going to break that on top. This is such a good, mellow tasting cheese. You have to have it. So top it with that. You have a beautiful taco here. Now, feel free to add sour cream to this one. Feel free to make the concoction of sour cream and diced jalapenos together. Throw that on top. You could go to the store, get a fresh jalapeno, make sure you de-seed it, wash it, chop it up and put fresh jalapeno so that you have like a crunchy texture. But the spice, add your favorite taco sauce, add your favorite salsa. You know what's really good in this is tomatillo salsa. You could also, if you're trying to watch what you eat, you could add a little bit of lime or lemon to this. Those tend to taste better, I think, on the corn tortillas. So these are the 3 versions. I'm going to kind of place them out for you here so that they look pretty. 3 versions of leftover tacos. that you can, I'm sorry, tacos that you can make out of your leftover tilapia. And they're really yummy. They're really satisfying. This one especially is low carb, so if you're watching what you eat, you know you're watching your carbs and your fats. This is a good one to have inside the lettuce wrap. The corn tortilla one is good. You might want to make yourself two because one's probably not enough. And then you've got the big ginormous flour tortilla one, which one is probably enough for a meal. Throw this together for dinner. Make all three kinds for dinner. Use it as an appetizer. If you make it as a dinner, throw a side of refried beans on there. Maybe use your brown rice and go back to my cilantro lime rice and make that and put that on the side. Put both on the side. Cover it with queso fresco. Even get enchilada sauce and throw some enchilada sauce in there if you want to. But these are just ways that you do not waste any food in your house. Money is too precious this day and age. And you want to make the most out of every food item that you buy and make it fresh and good tasting and healthy. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to write me and ask. If you're not a subscriber, I would love, love, love for you to subscribe to my channel. I do all kinds of different videos. Feel free to go back on my channel and see what I do. If you like it, hit the like button. If you don't like it, I prefer not to hit the dislike button. It's better for you just to give me a comment that you don't care for it. I never hit the dislike button on people. I just think it's rude. If I don't like the video, I'm not going to watch it. But I hope you all have a great day. I look forward to doing more videos, and I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something, and I hope you just have fun with it. So we'll see you soon. God bless.